No one's read more manga than I have. I've read thousands.
おや、気づきましたか。陸殿も好き者にござるな。
Hello friends, welcome back to ReddX Trace Amounts of Science. More r/neckbeardstories today. Are you excited? My goodness, this is about as far back in the archives as we could possibly dig. A whole ass decade ago. What were you doing in 2016? Some people weren't even born. If you weren't born yet, get off this channel, please and thank you. It's not meant for you yet. Let's meet again in another decade. Anyway, today we've got more beardlings trying to spit game at ladies, and it just doesn't go well. And I love to see it. So let's go ahead, check it out. Thanks so much for being here. I hope that you will enjoy. This is the Neckbeard and the Older Woman. This OP has a lot of stories. Neckbeard is the other one that I'm eyeing. So if you like this OP's writing style, keep an eye out for that. Anyway, I work in the charity store as a shop assistant. One day, at around lunchtime, a group of men came in to lunch, about 17 to 18 years old, from a nearby high school that lets their 11s and 12s off campus for lunch. I noticed nothing odd about them. Their backpacks do get in the way, though, until one of them comes back alone. He's the neckbeard of the group, overweight and short, with a thing on his face that I think is meant to be a beard, but it's quite patchy. He doesn't quite scream neckbeard while in his school uniform, but yeah, he's about to correct me on that. He hasn't come into the shop quite yet. He's standing by the bench outside like many do and waiting for someone to come out of the crowded RTA nearby, staring intently at my store. Yeah, that's not a good look. She has noticed you staring. Maybe he's trying to get the nerve up or something like that, but just go do it somewhere else. Not an eye shot, stupid. Weird, but whatever. I'm busy. I'm working. There's 1,000,001 things I need to do. About 5 minutes later, in he comes, apparently having gotten up that courage to do what he needs to do. Where are your men's hats? He asked me. We only really have the one that's on display down in the front. Is it a fedora, OP? She doesn't say. Oh, okay then. Do you have any ties? Yes, we do. Right this way. And I show him to our tie rack. I tell him that they're $1 each, which is fan-fucking-tastic for ties. He starts going on about how expensive ties are, and how that limits him in being able to dress like a proper gentleman. Honestly, I sort of like his style immediately. A kid that'll wear a fucking tie, I mean, probably he's gonna grow up and be either like the most off-the-rails dude ever, or like the worst corporate drone ever. There's no in-between for this kid. I agree with him that ties are very expensive items when new, and I tell him that we have a lady who makes skirts out of our ties. Honestly, it's interesting. Are we going like full hula with it, or is there like some protection cloth underneath the ties? Would you like to go out with me? The neckbeard blurts out. Huh? I'm confused. I'm a gentleman, and you're a proper lady. I was wearing a 50s style dress. I know we could be right for each other. I'll take you out to a movie tonight, say like 7 o'clock, and we can have dinner first. And she says, oh no, kid, I'm 25. I walk away as politely as possible. He looks at the ties for a bit, embarrassed at being called a kid, at asking out a woman who is by his standards quite a bit older, at also being turned down, and then he scurries out of the store. Yeah, that was a weird interaction. Is he gonna come back? He's probably gonna come back. That's why there's a whole series about it. This is gonna be a whole thing. It couldn't just be the one thing. You couldn't have the self-reflection to be like, maybe I shouldn't go back. So I carry out the rest of my work day flattered and amused. Nice. Just before I leave, I'm chatting to my manager about whatever, and he comes in again. I can see his mates outside the back window watching the show. This is gonna be sad, I can tell. I love it. It is gonna be sad, but also I'm gonna laugh really hard. Hey, I know you're older, but we should still go out, he says. I'm a proper gentleman. I'm really mature. And I need a mature woman as my partner. No, sorry, kid. You'll have to find a different mature woman. I'm already in a committed relationship. But he can't be as good as I am. I bet it took him a lot longer to mature. Opie says, also, I'm not really interested in you, anyway. And when I'm as old as he is, I'll be even more mature than he is right now. Oh my god. That's your big selling point? By the time we're 40, you're basically gonna be dead. If not outside, then inside. And that's probably true. OP then asks, how mature are you really if you can't take 3 different no's as an answer? He's taken aback by this. He was silent for about 30 seconds, standing there with me, trying to look like I'll hit him if he doesn't shut it, and my manager just trying not to laugh. I'm a gentleman, and gentlemen treat people with respect, says OP. You're not treating me with respect. You're not a gentleman. Yeah, accept the no. Move on. What's wrong with you? Is it really so hard? Why the fuck would you even come back? And bring your friends at that. Come on, guys. You back me up. Make it look like I have a social life. They only came to laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at
you. Just go home. Stop all this. Anyway, at being told he's not a gentleman, Neckbeard is insulted. His face is red. He looks like he's gonna blow his top. Then my manager steps in. If you're not going to buy or browse, then you need to leave. The kid storms out, heads over to his mates, and proceeds to loudly complain, I'm such a bitch, you're a slut. Not nice. My manager and I just laugh our asses off. Coming in part 2, the kid meets Joe from security. Where the fuck has Joe been this whole time? Oh, it's just break time for Joe? Always break time for Joe, isn't it? Until trouble kicks up, and then where the fuck is Joe? Always on break. I don't like Joe already. I'm gonna make that very clear. It's kind of a short nothing story. Awkward interactions, sure. But I'll leave the gubbinses for later and we'll get into part 2. The Neckbeard and the Old Woman, part 2. List of recurring characters: OP, 25 years old, likes dresses, especially vintage style dresses, is the perfect woman, in a committed relationship with someone who is not the kid. The kid is our Neckbeard, a proper gentleman, can't seem to actually grow a bread, is about 17 to 18 years old. Grow a bread. Yeah, it's rough, you know? I think the secret is yeast. You can put a little yeast in it. Anyway, it's lunchtime. I go get food from our mall's food court. I usually eat outside, but oh dear God, that's a lot of rain. I scurry back inside and grab a stool at the Edie bar thing. Edie bar. Oh my God. Love it. I nom my tasty lunch. Bro, this story is fucking vintage 2015. What an aroma. I love it. What a melange. I'm so happy. I'm so happy we dug this one up. Okay. As I nom, people beside me come and go, but no one sits right next to each other because social rules. I suddenly feel someone sit next to me, and I look over. Guess who? Hey, have you reconsidered my offer yet? I'm not interested in dating you, kid. Quit calling me kid. I'm almost 18. You are a kid. I will call you kid. I'd prefer if I didn't have to call you anything. Look, you better think about going out with me, because I'll make a formal complaint if you don't. Oh yeah, that's really gonna bend my arm. We've known him for no time at all, but we do know that he'll go to any lengths. I'll blackmail you into a relationship if you don't want one. Well, you're about the most terrible person ever, aren't you? Opie says, you're seriously gonna complain that I won't date you? And he says, no, I'll complain that you were disrespectful and threatened me. Opie says, well, we got security cameras and mics in the store, and my manager was right there, so that's not gonna work. I may be a gentleman, I snort, but I can be real mean when I don't get my way. Yeah, and I can be real fucking mean when I'm not left alone. You understand? We'll see who wins. I think you're a lot more scared than I am. Like, even though if OP is a lady, he probably would be intimidated. You just stand your ground. I guess she's been standing her ground, but yeah, now it's time to push and shove a little bit. Show you got some fucking fight ya. But OP ain't got to fight, because at this point, Joe, which is not his real name, the security guard who's friends with everyone in our mall, comes up to have a chat. The kid runs. I tell Joe of my troubles with the kid's attention, including the threats, and Joe is not happy. Yeah, you gotta run him down. Do it. I want to see. I didn't hear Joe's interaction with the kid, but the kid gets escorted to the security office by 2 guards. Joe tells me that the kid is banned from the mall for a week for harassment of mall employees. They called his mother to pick him up, and she was not happy. The bad part, she wants to teach him a lesson. Uh-oh. Coming in part 3, the kid volunteers. No, that's fucked up. Already, I'm not gonna allow that. We banned him from the mall, and you're like, go volunteer at the mall. We're not gonna allow it. He can volunteer somewhere else. Go pick up trash on the side of the freeway. And if you get hit by a bus, well, that's just Darwinism at work, isn't it? Let's put these stories together. We'll have the Gowanses give their take. Hopefully a savage one.
This kid strutted in like a medieval toad in a clip-on tie, declaring himself a gentleman right before verbally drooling on the floor. You don't ask women out. You ambush them like a bear with a thesaurus and no plan. Dark Gubbins!
Which part exactly implies thesaurus? But I do really like medieval toad in a clip-on tie. How about you, son?
This lad confused respect with persistence and maturity with mom still driving him to mall. Say he gentleman but behave like damp baguette. He tries so hard to be classy, he looped back to crusty. Tie cheap, beard cheaper, gubbins.
Mom driving him to the mall. See, that's the type of vibes that I like from these stories. It's like sort of wholesome, but in the scuzziest way possible. I can't decide on who gets a point, so nobody gets a point. That's how we're gonna do it. I think you say, but ReddX, shouldn't we both get a point? No, that's not how the real world works, okay? We're teaching harsh lessons to everyone. So let's continue on into the third part. I think there's 6 parts. Maybe we get through all of it today. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The Neckbeard and the Older Woman, Part 3. List of recurring characters. Me, the most perfect and beautiful woman there ever was. Flat. A proper lady, fit only for the proper mature gentleman. 25 years old, official as a Friday, yay, likes dresses, particularly vintage style, so pretty. The kid, Billy, has a proper real name, although IRL it's not Billy. Billy / the kid is the neckbeard of our story, 17 years old, age confirmed, attending a local high school. He likes to act tough. Manager, 30-something years old, though he's totes 25 too, a rare example of the former gay neckbeard. His sexuality isn't relevant, but it does become particularly obvious later, and I want to clear up any potential confusion. Joe is a security guard. He don't like the kid. Keeps checking in. Good bloke. Yeah, everybody loves Joe. OP said he's everybody's friend, so he's my friend too. Okay, so this one's a bit longer because I'm going to be doing a bunch of introduction stuff. Bear with me. Oh, like Bears Eat Rocks? That's a cool guy with a cool channel. He says he's trying to get monetized in 2026, and I'm like, let me help you out, bro. So here it is. Please support him if you would. I will, in fact, pin a comment and not forget. Anyway, in the last episode, the kid threatened me because I refused to give him a chance. First, he threatened my job. Then he made a vague threat, which I guess was intended to be taken as physical. He got banned from the mall for a week thanks to Joe, who wanted it to be a lot longer, but policy. His mom freaked the fuck out, took all his electronics away, said he had to earn them back, and Billy now volleys at my store in order to earn them back and learn himself some respect, or whatever. Dude, this is... what a twisted turn of events. It doesn't break my suspension of disbelief because Billy's gotten this far pulling the wool over mom's eyes. So, yeah, he volunteers every day after school from 3-ish to 5, except for Mondays because he has some after-school activity or something. Yeah, getting touched up by the gym coach in the showers. just, that's a joke. Although it did happen at my high school. Probably happened at yours too. Anyway, he also has to come in every Saturday to work 9 to 4. This gives him some not insignificant hours working with me, his trainer. Yeah, your manager set that up? Your manager's an asshole too. Everybody just sees this and is okay with it. don't know, man. My suspension of disbelief hanging by a thread right now. Now, my shop is a charity store. We get in donated goods from companies and individuals, and we sell them. The goal being to make as much profit as we can, because that money goes to a buttload of worthy causes, from feeding the homeless to providing consoling services, counseling services for families going through emotionally tough times. Our store and its services are operated by the church. As such, there's a lot of religious material about. They really don't give a fuck if you worship Satan. If you're lending a hand, well, they're pretty cool. Yeah, that's true. We got more in common than the people who ain't fucking showing up. Okay, so yeah, intro shit over. 3 p.m. comes. School is out for Billy, and work is in. He walks the couple of blocks over to us and arrives quite promptly. Manager speaks with him first, lets him know that I'm the boss of him. And I'll be training him, and if he gives me one iota of lip, all I gotta do is say the word to his mom and she'll sell everything electronic that he owns, except for his lamp. And then I take him to the back. Door open, a little old lady very obviously positioning herself outside the door just in case. It's an op shop, we do have little old ladies. I'm not sure why it bears mentioning really, you'll be old someday too. She needs a job, okay? Social Security doesn't cut it anymore. What the fuck do you want? It's not gonna be there for you and me, OP, so make the lifeboat now. Anyway, I show him the locker where he can put his stuff for safekeeping. I show him where to sign in, and I show him to a chair. I lean opposite him against the sink. It's a small as fuck back room combo staff room storeroom, so really only one chair is available. God damn. That shop is so charitable, they gave away all the chairs except for one. This is what our staff gets. Thanks for volunteering. Fuck you. Wow. Neat. Or whatever, I guess. I like to do a quick interview before I train people and get to know them a little, says OP. What is your name? Billy. Okay, Billy. I'm OP. Now, you and me are off to a rough start because you decided it would be gentlemanly to threaten me, but I want to assure you that I am a professional. I will not allow your past actions to get in the way of training you. However, if there's any more of that, there will be no need to train you further. Are we clear? Yes, ma'am. Oh god, I hate being called ma'am. You should say that part then. She's not gonna bring it up at all, which is crazy to me. She says, okay, good. Do you have any experience working in retail or any customer service jobs? Something long-winded about helping at a sausage sizzle? OP just didn't want to type it out. I got your back, OP. One summer, me and my uncle went to sizzle sausages together in the cabin by the woods. It was the most romantic time I ever felt, and I came down from that mountain a different person. Oh, okay. OP says, well, that's a start. Once you've earned back all your electronics, you'll have a lot more experience, which is a great thing to have on your resume. Particularly being a charity, it gives that extra goodness factor. Billy is pleased at this news and visibly brightens. As for me, I have 7 years of retail and 2 of childcare under my belt. I've been here 5 years and helped develop a bunch of stuff that's used in other locations. Policies, security procedures, color coordination. Our store's one of the best in the chain and we work damn hard to keep it that way. So, are you ready to get started? Gosh, OP, you sure have it together. You waltzed in there at 20 years old and were like, let me rewrite all of your security procedures. And they're like, fuck it, go ahead. We got all the stuff for free anyways, as long as we're selling something we can't lose. That's crazy, bro. Like, OP puffs himself up a lot, but that's some next level type of shit. I don't think any of that happened. Anyway, the kid is indeed ready. I take him on the tour of the shop, introducing him to the little old ladies, showing him jobs, and showing him where all the stuff is at, explaining how shit runs. Finally, I asked if there's a particular job he'd like to try, or an area he'd like to work in. He's an artist, he says. He'd like to try his hand at color coordination. I visibly brighten. I am the color coordinator in our store. Like, think of all the charity shops you know and think of their clothing. It's freaking everywhere, right? It looks messy. Fair enough. There could be thousands of items in any one section of a charity store. Me and Scotch, who's one of our little old ladies, guess what her favorite drink is? She puts her dentures in the Scotch. Like a quick little pick-me-up in the middle of the day, you know? We developed the color coordination system together. A clear set of rules based on color theory that dictate what colors go where instead of like, I don't know, just try and keep the colors together. I am the person, because Scotch is always running around doing 50 million other things, that does this in all sections of the store. It's a hard as fuck job, but it helps make our shop look like all those fancy stores what are selling that new stuff. Y'all are suckers if you're buying new, by the way. And now this unlikely savior has come to help. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be really great at it. I do remember thrift stores being like really cluttered and gross when I was a little kid. And then we went back, last year, visited a thrift store, and everything was all color coordinated. Although it might have been because, when I was younger, the thrift store was like in the San Fernando Valley, which ain't that nice. And then the one that we went to when I went back was like in Huntington Beach and sort of more upscale, I guess. But who knows? It might have been this OP that instituted that worldwide. And if I went back to San Fernando Valley, I'd be like, wow, you guys organized. You really did it, OP. You can tell she likes the smell of her own farts. Okay, anyway, I take him up to the men's section, explaining that I like to get people to work in areas that they might buy stuff from, because it's more fun for them, and also we make more money. And I give him a color coordination chart. I demonstrate how the clothes are meant to be hanging on the hangers, and show him what can make them hang wrong, and set him to work on the plain t-shirts. A nice, easy section. I show him where he can make a pile of stuff that's not supposed to be in that section to deal with later, and I go off to clean the shoes next to him. He actually ends up doing a pretty good job, and I let him loose on the rest of the men's section. He's asking questions and working hard, but we are getting along gangbusters. Honestly, this is not how I expected all of this to turn out, but great, I'm glad. When's it gonna turn? Even the little old ladies are warming up to him. So, why won't you go out with me? What? Why, kid? Why you do this? I could have just had an update to tell people that, like, you were actually cool or something. For fuck's sake. OP responds, no is enough of an answer for a gentleman. I'm not trying to be pushy. Honest, I just want to know why. OP says it's not anything against you. It's that I'm happily engaged. I know I have zero interest in anything that anyone who is not my partner could possibly have to offer. You're like those guys at stands in the mall who want people to take surveys or donate to charity or something. I don't really care what it is you're offering. I'm walking right by without a single glance. I took one of those surveys once for toothpaste, and then the guy gave me some weed at the end. I was only in 9th grade. It's kind of fucked up if you come to think about it. But also, yeah, I did enjoy that weed. Anything to make your commission. That's what I know. Neckbeard says, how come you didn't tell me that you were engaged? OP says, I said no. Why would it matter if I was engaged or single or married or a massive slut for everyone except for you? The answer would still be no. Oh, you broke his little heart with that one. He appears to dwell on this for a while. Yeah, picking up the pieces of his soul. Maybe he did learn something. Of course, all of that hope will soon be shattered. In walks my fiancé, here to pick me up. I leave at 4. Scrawny looking, the little old ladies keep giving him lots of food. Average height Englishman. An actual proper gentleman with no hint of fedora. Total dreamboat. Wednesday and Thursday are my school days, I tell him. I'm after a management certificate, so I'll see you on Friday. And off I go to the staff room to pick up my bags. The staff closet. When I come back, the fiancé is looking uncomfortable and amused at the same time, and the kid is again trying to look tough. I give my farewells to all, but once outside of the Oppie, I ask my dearest Daza, he hates that name, too Aussie. I don't even know what that means. Is it for, like, darling or something? My dizarling? WTF was all that about? Well, apparently Billy is infuriated that my partner isn't up to his standards. Billy insists that he is not. Billy seems, from his under-the-breath angry ranting directed at the clothes, seems to be convinced that my partner was some 6-foot-tall muscled Adonis. This is unacceptable, and my love is clearly a douchebag and probably maltreats me too, and also I got low self-esteem, which is why I'm with him. Coming up next, No one expects the Neckbeard Inquisition or to be excluded from party plans because they make people uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the easiest way, isn't it? Like, look, I'd like to invite everybody, but you just don't fit. You don't really fit. It's not your fault, truly. Kind of it. You haven't worked on yourself is what it is. Again, we'll save the Gubbinses for a bit further down the road, and let's see how this story devolves with the introduction of OP's fiance, The Neckbeard and the Older Woman, Part 4. List of recurring characters? Yep, you know them. I got texts from manager about how Billy was bitching about my fiance. As soon as I walk in on Friday morning, I'm regaled with the whole story. As soon as fiance and I leave, Billy comes up to my manager and starts chatting about my fiance. How long had I been with him? What does he do for work? When are we getting married? Why am I with him? Seeming like normal conversation and then slowly getting weirder and weirder. Yeah, stop prying for information about this one topic. It's really sus. So what I should take from this is that Billy now has heaps of info about my relationship. Manager says, well, yeah, but not too much. As soon as he started talking about your intimate life, My what? Yeah. Seriously? It seemed like a normal conversation. Opie says, fine, but you're buying drinks tonight. I mean, I guess at least he did pump the brakes at some point, but yeah, probably it should be a lot earlier. You asked me 3 questions about the same person or topic in a row, and I'm like, why are you asking me all this? This is a bit too much of a deep dive. Anyway, tonight, dear readers, is OP's birthday. Me, manager, and Donna, who wasn't introduced, are going out to a party. It's gonna be awesome! We're pumped! When Donna comes in, 30 years old, larger, high anxiety, I warn her of Billy. She decides to just avoid him. Smart girl. Billy comes in, still nice and punctual, goes off to work in the men's section. I go check it out, and it's looking good. We, plus the manager, agree that the men's section will be Billy's section, as he's doing a pretty good job. On Saturday, I'll train him in shoes, so he can do men's shoes, but for now, I do the shoes. From here, he can chat to me. Oh yeah, another nice, innocent little chat. We know how Billy chats, okay? Keep your fucking head on a swivel. Hey, so your fiance seems nice. Oh no, not this conversation. Spare me! How'd you two meet? He was staying with some friends of mine when he first came over. Is that why you're getting married? Is that why we're getting married? So he could stay in the country? No, he can stay without us getting married. Billy is disappointed by this news. So, what do you do for fun? My partner and I hike a lot. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I like to read a lot of manga. Oh, cool. You probably think I'm a total freak now. No one likes anime and manga past Pokemon in primary school. Oh no, there's nothing bad about manga. Do you read it? Yeah, I like reading. Do you read X and Y and Z? Oh my god, what about that other thing? Opie says, no, I've just read all of Junji Ito's works. Have you read him? Of course. No one's read more manga than I have. I've read thousands.
おや、気づきましたか。リク殿も好き者にござるな。
Oh no, one of those types. Of course. I'll probably read The Enigma of Arigama Fault. Everyone's read that. It's one of the best! I haven't read it. I'm so clued out of this, but I do like Junji Ito's artwork. That's what I'll say. We carry on a conversation in which it becomes clear that he doesn't really know who Junji Ito is. And he keeps asking if my fiance knows much about anime and manga. He does not, and he seems proud of his superiority. Yeah, dude, weird flex, but okay. Like, you could definitely collect all this information in your head, but I think it's important to use it for something, you know? Start a YouTube channel, talk about manga, okay. Now you're surrounded by people of your own sort, you know? He's too lazy to do any of that. He says, why don't we continue this over dinner tonight? Opie says, did you remember that you are working here? What do you mean? Like, you are working here in order to earn back your electronics, and your mom will sell them if you're asked not to come back. Just as friends. Not as a date, obviously. We're not friends, Billy. Love it. I'm making polite conversation with you because I work with you. And as I am training you, I want to try and create a positive environment. It's not very positive to turn me down. I said positive environment, not make all your dreams come true. I like this OP. Little high on her own fumes, but when it comes to laying down the line, mwah, that's beautiful. I wander up to the front to inform manager of what went down. We decide, well, he hasn't done anything that bad yet, and he might have gotten the point. But Donna is worried. The conversation turns to our party plans that night. We're all going straight after work. Billy comes up to chat as well, and as he comes up, we kill the party talk, because it's rude otherwise, but he has already heard us. Hey, you're having a party? Yeah, we're going out for Opie's birthday, says manager. Oh, could I come? Donna looks at me anxiously. Pushy people are one of her triggers. Uh-oh, guys. Donna's been triggered! What's she gonna do? Nothing. Look toward OP for help. OP says, no, tonight is just for me and my friends. I don't want people that I don't know there. I never get invited to anything. I'm sure you will, one day. Let's just talk about something. Why won't you invite me? Manager jumps in again. She just said why. You're grounded anyway. Billy's disappointed, but he doesn't kick up any more fuss. The day proceeds. Billy goes home. We go out, discussing what, if anything, should be done about Billy's latest infraction. Manager decides that if he tries anything else, he'll have a talk to Billy about how as friends stuff counts too, as I have rejected him as a friend. If he wants those electronics, he's gonna have to stick to working only. Party's fun, great night. Otherwise, I get back home to see he sent me a friend request on Facebook. His mom must have given in on some item of electronics. I decline the request and promptly block him. I love that. This OP not taking no fucking guff, I'll tell you what. That's what I like to see more than anything. He's gonna be persistent, gonna try and toe the line, but yeah, it's a battle between an unstoppable force and an immovable object. And who knows who shall end up winning? I think it's time to get the Gubbinses back in here, see what they thought about this story and the last.
Neckbeard smash into boundary wall. Wall not move. Beard get flat like coin. Result is bing bong from Joe. Bye bye from Facebook. That is totally science. Promise. Swearsies. It's just a fact. You don't need to look it up. We will watch it unfold. Gubbins.
Nice. Very nice. Bing bong from Joe. And I like the channel plug in there. He's working hard for those points. I guess we'll see what Dark Gubbins has to say, though.
Unstoppable force meets immovable object and discovers more policy, HR forms, and a block button. Physics bows to paperwork. Outcome: Billy speedruns. Volunteer to restraining order any percent speedrun in under 2 parts. Dark Gubbins.
I think Dark Gubbins' brain's falling apart. He said speedrun twice, bows instead of bows. I gotta give the point to Gubbins, my boy. My boy's in the lead, but we got a few more parts to go. So let's jump into those and we'll see what happens. Also, if you're enjoying the videos, please sign up on Patreon or YouTube memberships. Support us month to month. I'd be eternally grateful. We had our special members only I Hate Arby's video, and I've got another one cooking up for November. So if that motivates you, then great. I'd be appreciative for your support. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into these last few parts and see how it all turns out. The Neckbeard and the Older Woman, part number 5. The wait is over, ladies and gents, but first, a rundown of characters for reference. Darling Fiancé is introduced here, is not an Adonis, and there's no reason why I should be dating him, is the gentleman that Billy thinks he is. I think no reason I should be dating him sarcastic, but then you pair it with like a true statement in the next part. It's fine, I read you mostly. Continuing into the story it's the Saturday after the Friday that was my birthday and my happy fun time party. Saturday's the end of the week, and as such, I celebrate with sweets, which I like to bring into work to share. Today, of course, it's cake. A chocolate ring cake covered with strawberries, drizzled with chocolate, which manager is super upset that he didn't get any of because he's not at work on Saturdays. I mean, you're the manager. Pop through for some fucking cake, bro. It's cool. Introducing the ones who are in Saturday, Craft, and the young ones. Craft is the weekend manager. She likes doing crafts. Oh, I thought she drunk craft beer. Like Scotch drinks Scotch, but I guess not everybody's named after drinks. It's fine. The young ones are a group of like 3 to 4 young people who volunteer on the weekends because they're good people, rather than because they're being punished. Also, as I mentioned to Billy in an earlier chapter, it does look pretty damn good on a reference. Yeah, that's not enough for me to fucking come in and put in work for free. Thank you. OP says, Saturday are our hectic chill days. Which is kind of a fucking antonym, or what's that called? Like jumbo shrimp? It's not a paradox. What the fuck do you call it?
10 seconds later.
Ah, oxymoron! I couldn't think of it because I'm a moron whose brain is deprived of oxycontin. I mean oxygen. Anyway, we mostly chat and just try to control the chaos that is Saturday shopping and do other work when it's actually quiet. So, first thing I do is ensure Billy is introduced to the young ones, all of whom have been warned about his behavior and told to see me if anything happens, even if they don't think all that much of it. I had them read the bullying and harassment policy and everything. Yeah, Billy does seem the type to try and throw his weight around, doesn't he? We chat about life, see pictures of the crafts that Craft is doing, guess what's under the cake platter. Everyone's in a pretty good mood. And then the busy time starts. 10 minutes is really all it takes. And everyone's off doing high-speed tidying. I take Billy down to the men's section to teach him how to clean the shelves and the shoes safely. Obviously, this is the perfect time for a discussion of the particulars of my relationship. So obviously, the first thing we have to do is get everything off the shelves, and we make sure we put it somewhere where people won't trip on it. Was your party fun? Are you paying attention, Billy? OP says, yeah, it was a real blast. Would it have been fun if I were there? OP says, it would be more dramatic, and I don't like drama. Do you do much of the cleaning at home? Not really. That's a chick job. Okay. Well, this is the spray we use most of the time. It won't hurt you, but it can. We then go through the MDSS sheets like this, which are available for every single chemical we use. Which those sheets are boring for, like, you know, household chemicals and shit. But when I worked at the vitamin factory, I'd like to read them. Then you ask yourself, why are you not supposed to store caffeine above 30 Celsius? Does it self-ignite? No. But I'm sure there's something in here that does, and I'm gonna find it. Yeah, these sheets are just in the manual. You should always look at them before you use anything that you haven't used before. Billy scoffs. All that over this stuff? It's harmless unless you're an idiot. OP says, do you want to know how to use it before you mess up or after? And he says, yeah, probably before. OP says, then read the SDS, even if you're using soap. I do it for everything in my home since I learned about those sheets. Dude, what the fuck? You might have a compulsion of some sort. It seems a bridge too far, but if you enjoy it, I guess that's fine. Billy asks, how did you learn about him? She says, through basic training at work, just like you. It's law that we teach you, so if any job doesn't, you better hightail it out of there. You're really smart. I bet your boyfriend doesn't like that. OP says, my fiance, and of course he likes my level of intelligence. Now, the actual cleaning is pretty simple. You just have to, dumb guys don't like smart women. Spray the shelf and wipe it. Being careful to get all the dust and marks, just like this. And then OP does a shelf. I'm really smart. I'm top of my class in a lot of things. Okay, that's nice. Now why don't you do the next couple of shelves, and then I'll show you how to clean the shoes. He really just doesn't get the message. Hilarious. After a certain point, he's choosing failure. You're doing him a disservice by letting him get away with these things. Go ahead, let his mom sell all his electronics. Who gives a fuck? The grass touching might do you a bit of good, son. Billy gets to work looking unhappy. He does an alright job. I teach him how to arrange the shoes, show him where the rest of the shoes are kept, and get him to pick out a few pairs of the men's shoes. We begin cleaning. So, why wasn't I invited to your party? We went over this, stupid. Opie says, 'cause we're not friends, and I only wanted friends at my party. I think it's 'cause your fiancé doesn't like me. He doesn't, but the reason that you're not invited is simply because I do not like you. You love to see it. Why not? Do you care to take a guess? I wasn't really threatening you, you know. It was just a joke. I put down my shoe and get straight in his face, as much as I can without setting off a whatever anti-policy thingy. Kid, you better listen. Get this through your fucking head. You cannot threaten or harass someone and then claim it was a joke, even if it was. The world doesn't work that way. If you threaten to hurt someone, it's as good as hurting them. And when you're 1 year older, a simple threat can land you in jail no matter how little follow-through you have or how funny you or anyone else found it. Hell, it could land you in jail if you do it tomorrow. You're 17. The courts aren't too fussed about you needing to be tried as a child. Do you understand me? Billy's a little scared by this. Yeah. Yes, you must understand, culturally, in England, there's only a few specific groups that are able to do this and not go to jail. Opie says, good. You'll get charged for threats or harassment, and Joe and I will offer testimony that this is not your first time threatening people, and we will make sure that you get a stint in jail. So I go back to cleaning, as does Billy, face a bit pale. I teach him the tricks of the trade for getting those secondhand shoes to look brand new, or at least as brand new as possible, as if the conversation never happened. We get them clean, and in comes Joe, as per usual. He's here for cakes, so it's cake time. Oh, even the fucking cakes are on Joe's time. You taking a cake break, Joe? Is that what you're doing, huh? Fucking everybody's pal shows up when it's time for cake. Fuck you, Joe. We call the cake his bribe, but I never really get anything out of the deal. The cake is truckin' amazing, as it should be. I cooked it. I'm awesome. Oh yeah, big round of applause for you putting ingredients in a bowl. Billy wraps a slice to take home for his mom. I get on with the other shoes that aren't men's that need to get done, and he gets down to talking to the young ones about my abusive relationship. Note, the young ones are treated as a hive mind here. They're not, but I don't feel like introducing each one. The conversation is mostly paraphrased. Okay, but before we get into that cake that Billy wrapped up is not going to make it to his mom. I want you to know that for sure right now. So, do you guys know OP's boyfriend? Her fiance? Yeah, why? Do you think he hits her? What? No, why would we think that? She didn't invite me to her party last night, and I think it's 'cause he doesn't like me. Or it could be because you threatened her and she doesn't want you at her party. Besides, it's just for friends. Only one of us was invited. She should have invited everyone. It's not fair. Yeah, life ain't fair, bucko. You come to learn that. For her to have people she wants to be at her party there and nobody else is not fair. To have a party without inviting everyone's just mean. What are we in fucking preschool? Get over it. Somebody asked exactly that and said, are you in kindergarten? She's really just creating cliques this way. It's bullying. To be friends with some people and not with others? She treats us all with politeness and respect. She's even nice to you. She's not. She just threatened me. Huh? She said she'd get me thrown in jail. And the young one said, well, you probably said something stupid. Which he definitely did. The young ones now tire of this conversation and tactfully change the topic while turning their backs on him to block him out. Billy decides to chat with me instead. I'm chatting with Kraft about the party. She was too old to be invited to our happy fun time and would have been bored, but she is usually invited to things. Billy awkwardly butts into the conversation. Were you bullied in school? Kraft replies in the negative. Not you, snaps Billy. That's rather rude. I've been briefed about why you're here, and another outburst like that will earn a call from me to your mother. Billy apologizes and walks off. Later, when I am alone, he asks me again. Were you bullied in school? OP says, yeah, most people are at some point. Why? That might be why you have low self-esteem. No, you, bitch. OP says, oh, I have low self-esteem now? That's why you're dating somebody who would maltreat you. Look, I get that you'd like to reason away me being with someone who's not you or whatever, but you have zero evidence to back up any of your claims. I'm getting married to darling fiancé because I actually love him, and he's far more respectful than you are. I'm not making my relationship with darling fiancé a forbidden topic. I'll talk to manager about it right now. He's not here. Yeah, but they have this new thing they invented. It's called a phone. So manager ends up coming in. He's furious because this is his day off. Yeah, but on the plus side, there might be some cake left. If Joe and fucking Billy didn't eat it all. Manager listens to Billy's side, in which he admits what he did, and here's a few other disturbing things. Billy is now verboten from interacting with me. Manager will take over training, which means I need to train manager in a few things. Billy's mother's also called, and she is furious with Billy and very apologetic to me. She hears parts of the story that she didn't before, and I get to hear what he's been telling his mummy. Basically all his actions, very downplayed, and a lot of stuff about me and how lovely I am. Well, that would be flattering if it weren't so fucking creepy. She, as any mother would, was thinking only the best of her son. It's agreed that he will no longer be working on the days on which I am working, if he's allowed to work at all. Billy's not happy. It's all quite tense in the back room. The young ones are worried, and Kraft reassures them. Joe is on standby, not happy with Billy coming in at all. Joe can blink and have it look threatening when he's angry, and currently he is angry. His mother liked the cake. Oh, it actually made it home. I expressed that he's a good worker. If only he'd have respect for boundaries, he'd be golden. The big boss is called. Billy may no longer work. He's banned from all stores in the chain, both as a worker and a customer. In the possible, please, please, please finale, Billy learns more about the law. Yes, that famous English two-tier justice system. I'm excited to see it at work for once in my life. Holy shit. There is the finale, and then there's one more part. I think we're gonna run through both of them. Then we'll toss it to the gubbins. Then we can get the fuck out of here for the day. But I appreciate you guys coming through, you know? Check out the fourth wall for the merch. I got plenty of stuff to plug. You want to check me out on podcasts, Spytunes, Spotify, whatever you want. I also just released a Halloween music album just for funsies. It's Meet the Halloweenies. You can check it out on the channel or Spotify, iTunes, whatever you want. I'll stop plugging things and we can get into the quote-unquote finale. The Neckbeard and the Older Woman, Part 6. Finn? Question mark? I don't know, you tell me. The following takes place entirely over Facebook, over a few days. Wait, I thought you blocked him. So Billy the Neckbeard was gone. He fucked it all up just a bit too much and was banished, never to return, nor get back his electronics. His mom has been making good on her promise to sell him. She even made him donate all of his DVDs. Damn, bro, give me some of them DVDs. I'm looking for physical media. That shit's coming back. Cloud service this, suck my dick. Unfortunately for me, Billy still has internet access at school, and he could get on Facebook. Pretty sure most schools block that shit, whatever. Readers who have been paying attention will think, what? I thought you already blocked him after he sent a friend request. Yeah, that's what I said. And indeed, that is what I thought, having received another message from Billy. I checked my block list, and I had blocked him, but this was a new account. So I blocked it, taking a screenshot of the fact that I had blocked him now on 2 separate accounts. The message was harmless enough, just a hello. Then came a third account. This one under a slightly different name. Why do you keep blocking me? Screenshot, block, screenshot. 4 and 5 come together. 4 is from Billy's friend, telling me how great Billy is and that I should totally date him. 5 is Billy again, telling me that I might get a message from his friend. He's very embarrassed, he says. Screeny, blocky. Isn't it so wonderful? I have the power to never see or hear from you again? Yes, I'm going to use that all the time. Number 6 comes, at which point I contact his darling mother. Number 6 is a string of various Asian racial slurs and terms such as whore. I'm not even Asian, like, at all. What? How's that work? I show much screenies and tell her that I will 100% call the cops if this does not end. Mummy is very adamant that if he does do anything else, I should call the cops. She doesn't know what else to do with Billy and his behavior. She speaks to him, he gets mad. Yeah, him getting mad isn't enough to stop the consequences, okay? You can be pissed off as you want. I am also pissed off. Trust me when I say I can blow up a lot bigger than you, little Billy boy. As soon as Billy gets to school, he's even more mad. I called the school about what he was doing with their computers, and now he's off them. Somehow he gets a hold of another device with access to Facebook. He sends me messages on several different accounts, one in my partner's name, breaking up with me. And there was also a love declaration, but most of them are just hurling abuse and making threats and him saying, I know where you live. I call the cops and explain the situation briefly, and they go and get Billy. Apparently, he quite literally pissed on himself. I've sent all my screenshots over to the police at this point, and they begin to get more details of me regarding what happened up to this point and how to get evidence of all of it. Not that difficult. He was banned from the mall and the Oppie. Records about why are basically everywhere. Essentially, reality had come down on Billy like a ton of bricks. This isn't just he said, she said. I have so much evidence that I could swim in it. The short version of it is that now, Billy is fucked. There's a whole bunch of legal schmozzle going on, but Billy, yeah, he's screwed. He's likely going to be on a good behavior bond and maybe some mandatory therapy. Maybe he won't get to use a computer also. I'll probably also take out a restraining order and yeah, a bunch of other stuff. They're really coming down hard on him. So yay. Hopefully he'll learn his lesson somewhere in there. So that's the end, more or less, I think. I'll be sharing another story at some point. I told my manager about writing this up, and he wants me to tell his tale of beardery, so I'll see you guys again at some point. And yeah, that's the Neckbeard series that I was talking about earlier. There is one more part to this, though, so let's go ahead. We'll run through that. Sort of an epilogue, I suppose. The Neckbeard and the Older Woman. Update. Small update. Yesterday, Billy called and asked manager if he could use manager as a reference so he could get a job. My manager said, yeah, okay. I got a text from manager today. We got our first call for his reference. Basically, Billy's had manager down as our reference for weeks, probably handing in his resume in every Christmas position there is. He said he's volunteered at our store for years, and he's super great at everything, and got to work on the register and all that stuff. Manager set them straight, including mentioning the harassment of me. Billy's not gonna have a very nice Christmas, but manager and I sure will. Damn. I mean, if he could have just been honest about the situation. This is the only reference I have. I'm shit at a lot of things, but I'm hoping to learn. Maybe they would respect you a bit more. People respect honesty, you know? Open it all up, lay it out, and just judge it as you will. And oh, they certainly will. And by they, I mean the Gubbinses. Go ahead, boys. Let me know what you thought about this ending.
Not harsh enough. I wanted him sentenced to the infinite corridor of rejection, where every door is a woman saying no, in a slightly different tone. Polite no, firm no, HR no, cop no, judge no, grandma no. Until his ego peels like paint, and he finally understands he is not owed proximity attention or vintage dress ladies from the charity bin. Dark Gubbins.
Vintage dress ladies from the charity bin? I think OP caught a stray on that one. But I do like the idea of using the corridor of infinite rejection again. We need to pull that out again. What's it been, a decade and a half since we sealed it off? Maybe we cracked that fucker open again. Anyway, how about you, Gubbins? How'd you feel?
Me would have put him in enforced growth camp where the only loot drops are self-awareness and chores. No anime till you can recite no as a sentence in front of witnesses. Every time he says, but I'm a gentleman, the sky rains dish sponges and he gotta clean all the men's shoes again, forever, while the old ladies clap on the offbeat like a church of consequences. Gubbins.
Damn, that definitely spiraled into some. I like where you started out and then it went really weird. Actually, I don't know if I like restart. The enforced growth camp? the camps sort of have a subtext to them, Gubbins. We can't do that anymore. So I'm gonna give the point to Dark Gubbins. We're all tied up for the day, and I guess that's fitting. A rather enjoyable story. Unfortunate for Billy, but yeah, he earned this every step of the way, essentially. Thank you guys so much for watching the episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to support in the ways that I mentioned. Patreon, YouTube memberships, 412 for the merch, Amazon affiliate link, Spotify, iTunes, podcasts, all that stuff. I appreciate the heck out of you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it. And until the next one, bye-bye.
何ばか何ばか何ばか